All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are going deep, deep into one of the biggest mysteries there is, consciousness itself. We're going to explore this incredible model that maps out 7 distinct layers of the mind, starting from that everyday chatter in your head, all the way down to the very fabric of reality.
So let me just ask you this to get started. Have you ever wondered how deep your own consciousness really goes? I mean, yeah, we're all familiar with our thoughts and our feelings, but what's going on underneath all that? What's really down there in the depths?
You know, the best way to think about this is with a metaphor. Picture your consciousness as this huge, deep ocean. All those thoughts, worries, plans, and to-do lists buzzing around in your mind all day, that's just the choppy waves on the surface. We're about to put on our scuba gear and go way, way down below.
Okay, let's start our journey into this ocean of consciousness. We're going to move through 7 distinct layers, and with each one, we'll be getting deeper and closer to the source.
First up, we're going to tackle the first 3 layers. The source material calls these the personal layers. And that's because they're all about our own individual experience of being alive, of being a self in the world.
So, let's start with layer 1. This is the most obvious one, the one we're all swimming in every single day. This is our day-to-day consciousness. It's the narrator in our head, right? It's everything from the sensory stuff like, ooh, this coffee is really good, to our emotions, our memories from yesterday, and all our plans for tomorrow. It's basically the command center for navigating our daily life.
Now, let's dip just a little bit deeper to layer 2. This is a really powerful current that runs just beneath that surface chatter.
We can call this one human being consciousness. This is that deep, primal, instinctual drive to just keep going, to exist as a human. You really feel this when you're sick or maybe in a dangerous situation. It's your survival instinct kicking into high gear. But here's the interesting part. That same drive also kind of locks us into our limited ideas of what a human being is supposed to be.
All right, going deeper still, we get to layer 3, and this is where our consciousness starts to look beyond the boundaries of just this one life.
This is the consciousness of life continuation. It's this underlying feeling that our existence isn't just a one-and-done deal. It's an awareness that touches on ideas like past lives and future lives, something you might connect with reincarnation. It's the part of us that senses there's both a visible, physical world and a whole invisible world too.
Okay, so we're leaving the personal shores behind now. It's time to enter the vast, universal waters. These next 3 layers are all about how our individual consciousness connects to the consciousness of the entire cosmos.
Layer 4 is called spiralic consciousness, and wow, this slide really maps out the epic journey. This is like the big picture consciousness. It's this deep down awareness that our existence didn't just pop into being at birth. No, it's been on this cosmic journey, starting from universal oneness, moving through states of pure energy, then planetary life as plants and animals, arriving in our current human form, and then eventually spiraling right back to that oneness again. It's the part of us that remembers the whole trip.
Once we get to layer 5, we find the consciousness of oneness. At this level, that hard line we usually draw between the physical world and the spiritual world, it just completely dissolves. They're not 2 separate things at all. They're just 2 different sides of the exact same coin. A single, unified reality.
Okay, layer 6 is where things get really mind-bending. At this level, consciousness just fully embraces paradox. Ideas that seem totally contradictory to our normal way of thinking are understood to be true at the same time. The one is the many. The infinite is found in the tiniest particle. Being is also non-being. Even good and bad are seen as just different flavors of the same underlying reality. I know, it's a huge concept that goes way beyond our everyday logic.
So that brings us to the very bottom of the ocean, the foundation of everything. If good is also bad, and being is also non-being, what is the ultimate reality that can hold all of that together? Well, that is what we find in the 7th and final layer.
At this absolute core, consciousness finally understands the true nature of reality itself.
And what it understands is this. The whole is actually nothing except our dreams. Let that just sink in for a moment. At its deepest, most fundamental level, consciousness sees that everything, the universe, matter, spirit, all of it, is a construct. It's all a dream, emerging from a ground state of pure potential, or what you might call nothingness.
Now, the implications of this are just staggering. I mean, think about it. If nothing is objectively real, it means that whatever you focus your consciousness on, whatever you dream, is what becomes your reality. That means you are the one creating your own happiness and your own unhappiness. It means all of us are just interpreting this fundamental nothingness in our own unique way. And that gives us both the ultimate freedom and the ultimate responsibility.
So, if we have this incredible power to actually shape our reality, the next logical question is, how do we do it? I mean, it's one thing to understand this model, but the source material also gives us a really practical way to train our consciousness to access these deeper layers.
The whole training is built on 5 key factors, and they move from the totally physical to the deeply metaphysical. It all starts with the things that ground us in those personal layers: mindful eating and conscious breathing. And this isn't just about being healthy. It's about mastering that day-to-day consciousness of layer 1. From there, we move to the tools that let us explore deeper: sound and image. Using sound like chanting or specific kinds of music helps quiet that surface mind. And image, our imagination, is the language of the subconscious. It's how we actually start to navigate those universal layers. And then finally, all of this leads to action. Because if reality is a dream, then our actions are how we write the script. It's how we turn that inner vision into our actual lived experience.
So after this amazing journey from the choppy waves on the surface all the way down to the ocean floor of reality, we end up at this incredibly powerful conclusion. We aren't just at the mercy of our reality, we are literally its architects.
And this just says it all perfectly. You are not just the fleeting wave of your daily thoughts and feelings. You are the entire, deep, mysterious ocean of consciousness itself. All that potential is right there inside you.
And that leaves us with one final big question to really chew on. If your reality is in fact a dream, and you are the dreamer, what will you choose to dream?